बहुत सारे स्टेट्स में जो डीप रूटेड करप्शन है।
रही बात करप्शन की, करप्शन हर जगह है, कौन से देश में नहीं है? As we are working into multiple countries, we work with the government, we work with the private players. Corruption is everywhere.
गवर्नमेंट का जो रोल है, how much proactive they are in terms of supporting a business?
From a central level, yes. State level, कुछ state हैं जो बहुत अच्छे हैं.
GDP strong का जो aim है, how much easy or difficult it is?
Politically, the government is stable or not. That also becomes one of the very important factor.
So when you mention ecosystem है कि नहीं है, मतलब कैसे पता चलेगा ecosystem है कि नहीं है?
अगर मैंने वो product इंडिया में बनाया and I'm doing the investment here, is how I will be able to assemble those product and make money out of it.
We need the dollars. कोई इंडिया आना चाहता है या इंडिया से ही लोग वहाँ पे जाते हैं?
बहुत लोग इंडिया आना चाहते हैं. I think Europe is one of the prime location at this moment where a lot of companies are wanting to come to India.
दोस्तों, ग्राउंड जीरो पॉडकास्ट के इस एपिसोड में एक बार फिर से आप सब लोगों को स्वागत है. मैं आपका होस्ट अनुराग वाजपेयी. मेरे साथ में हमारी गेस्ट निधि श्री. निधि, बहुत बहुत स्वागत है आपका.
Thank you, Anurag.
Nidhi, what we know about you, that you are a co-founder of Verco Group. You have worked with Reliance, you have worked with Jio, and started this organization as a co-founder. But this is something which we understand a bit about what you're doing. We'll be more than happy if you could also let us know a bit more about yourself, your journey, so that maybe I think our audience can get inspired about what you have done so far.
Sure, Anurag. Thank you. First of all, thank you for inviting me in your podcast.
My pleasure.
It's my pleasure to be here today. So I'll start with my introduction first. My name is Nidhi Shri, and people generally calls me either Nidhi or Shri. And in the international world, they call me Nadia. That's the name given by the international world to me, and I'm very happy to accept
Nadia.
Nadia, yes. People calls me Nadia because it's difficult for them to call Nidhi or Shri. Tongue-twisting name it is for them, at least. So it's easier for them to call me Nadia. But again, in India, everybody calls me Nidhi or Shri or Nidhi Shri. Everything works. Currently, I'm running a business called Verco Group. And here we have a management consulting as a core activity which we are performing at this moment. In the management consulting, we have got a couple of services which we provide. It's more towards facilitating foreign direct investment to India or from India to different parts of the world. So inward, outward, both works for us. We are working with many international customers and clients across the globe, supporting them to understand India in much deeper way than just seeing in the news that, the GDP is going this much percentage up or $1 trillion or whatever. Because then any investor wants to come to India. It's not just they want to see how much money they will be able to put and take it out, but also they have to see how sustainable they would be for a, let's say, 1 decade or 2 decades. So they require a proper planning. We have in-house team, which we call it market intelligence department. And depending on sector to sector, when we are suggesting or giving consulting to any of our customer, we are data-driven organization. So we work on every sector. We give them insight. So market research and intelligence becomes the, I would call it the basic foundation, where we have all the data coming and then providing the solution on back of that to the customers. So in short, market consulting is the core activity we do. Over a period of time, we have also diversified our business. So again, consulting is the core business, but apart from that, we also have a export and import entity which runs parallelly. We have a different set of team altogether works. It's a different entity altogether. So that's what we are doing at this moment.
Very nice. I think currently seeing the geopolitical scenario, FDI consulting is very interesting to hear.
Yeah, it is.
So when you say FDI consulting, you mentioned inward and outward both.
Yeah.
It means that you also help foreign organizations to work in India as well as Indian organizations to work outside. What is the maximum flow that you see in terms of who is more bullish, Indian companies going out or reverse?
I would like to put it in a way where depends on which type of companies we are approaching. If it is MSME at this moment, they may not think about going abroad and investing in different countries because their crises are something else. They might look for getting top class product, make in India, and then supply to the domestic market itself, because the requirement is huge itself. So they are very tied up with the domestic requirement because, yes, we are the one of the most populated country in the world. So MSMEs companies, they do not go more frequently outside India. But yes, the companies who are in a bigger scale, they definitely like to go explore different countries. They do acquisitions in different parts of the world, get the technologies built in India, localize the product here, and benefit not only India but also the couple of other regions where they are focusing. So depends on the strategy. When I talk about FDI inflow in India itself, we have various companies. Depends on if it is MSME or global organization. All the companies are interested to come to India. Not everybody would think about greenfield project, but brownfield is also working for them, where they look for partnerships, they look for technology collaborations, they look for maybe a distribution network they want to build it, depending on what product it is, what service they want to provide. So it's pretty good. It's quite interesting segment. So again, can't put in a ratio that Indian companies are more going out or foreign companies are coming in the Indian market. I think it's equal depending on which size, which sector we are seeing. But for sure, India is getting more traction. Considering how the growth of the country is going. So for sure, we have good investors coming at this moment.
Very nice. Okay. But this is a very specialized area, Nidhi. When you started this organization, you were working with Reliance and the Jio before this. तो ये जो interest है is particularly in such management consulting and FDI consulting, वो develop कैसे हुआ? How did you have that courage in terms of building the organization yourself while you working with the organization like Reliance, and there was enough exposure of such nature of the job? कैसे मतलब ये सब, how you started doing all these things?
Well, कुछ चीजें आप किस्मत पे भी छोड़ देते हो. अगर आपके किस्मत में लिखा है ये होना है तो वो होगा. I mean, you can't deny that. And God has a better plan. If it is written that you have to do it, they plant people around you who will help you to think in that particular direction. Obviously, when we are growing, we don't think that, okay, fine, from day one, I wanted to be an entrepreneur. No, I think entrepreneur word भी बहुत सालों बाद ही हम सुने थे कि अच्छा ऐसी भी कोई चीज होती है. Nowadays, generation is different. Like nowadays, everybody wants to be entrepreneur. But हमारे generation में ऐसा नहीं था.
Which generation are you from?
I don't know. I think millennial. I'm still in the millennial side. I think so. I don't know what
90s.
bracket. Yeah, 90s. Yes.
Yeah.
So entrepreneurship was not that common in my generation as well.
Yeah.
It became common after a certain time, but ठीक है, उस time इतना common नहीं था. Now I think people around me, they always been quite self-motivated, which made me today. I think it's always good to appreciate the people around you, and also the lessons you learn from your life. Whether it is good or bad, it depends on you, but you have to have that approach to be better version of yourself. So when I was working in Reliance itself, so my co-founder is Pradeep Sridharan. I used to work for a person who was reporting to him. So he was the vice president, and I was one of the employee over there. And then that's how we met, and we started talking on various things. I was in the sales, and sales is something which I love. So he was very impressed with the working way of mine, and then he was like, okay, fine, kuch kar sakte hain saath mein. And I think without him, it was impossible for me to think beyond my territory. But he has been very supportive. And then we were like, okay, fine, let's do this. So jab humne company chalu ki thi, and for 6 months we were not functional because we both were working in different entities. I was in Geo at that time, and he was working with ADAG. So I was like, okay, fine, is date ko main resignation de dungi, and then I will be a full-time employee. He was like, okay, fine. And then I was like, okay, but we don't have money at this moment. How I'm going to work? I mean, how I'm going to feed myself? He came up and he said that, don't worry, I'm going to feed you and take care of entire expenses for the 6 months. You only focus on this thing and don't worry about it. I think in 6 months, let's see if we are able to pull it out, good. Otherwise, it's okay. We always have a way go back and enjoy the corporate world. So I think he has stood strongly in my life. So I have to give it to him. On top of it, my husband, that time he was my boyfriend, and whenever I used to tell him that, okay, mujhe ye karna hai, and he was like, हाँ बिल्कुल. He has been very supportive. Where one of the rare guy, you meet him, and he was like, okay, fine, ठीक है, मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ, बताओ. You need money, you need whatever, I'm ready to give it to you. You wanna go out of India, study, whatever you want to do, you are definitely you can do it.
Very nice.
So I think you have to give it to the people who have always stand with you in your crisis time. So entrepreneurship also came that way, and here we are.
So that is how you both started this journey together?
Yes, we started in my hall, where the living area, I had a chair and a table, and that's how I started. Pradeep being in the background always. So yeah.
Perfect. So Nidhi, maybe I think थोड़ा सा fast forward करते हैं, and then coming back to FDI consulting पे आते हैं. What are the specific sectors जो कि अभी तक आपने उनको support किया है, hold किया है so far? I'm sure like sectorial expenses will certainly help the audience also in terms of understanding that how you work with the sector and how help them in setting their businesses in India or outside India as well. Maybe I think a short form. Maybe I think we can have a priority sectors as well as a discussion.
So manufacturing have been our forte. Any sector which have manufacturing in the background is something where we look into. It can be automobile, railways, aviations, defense, mining, FMCG, and pharma. So these are some of the manufacturing sectors where we are deeply engaged. We have varieties of customers depending on what they are looking for. There are some other sectors as well, which is in the service side, but those are not prioritized sector. It's not like I'm getting the project, I won't do it. Of course, I'll do it. But these are a few sectors where we work a lot.
So let's say railways. How you help the railways, let's say outside India or in India?
Most of the top railway parts manufacturing companies are working with us. So let's say somebody is, making the interior of railway, somebody making the seating system of railway, somebody making the air condition which goes into railways, right? somebody making brake system, clutch, or whatever, right?
Got it.
So you have multiple products, and not one company can make it. You have different type of companies who are making it. Now, when you look at today's railway ecosystem, right, in India, what we have seen 15 years back and today, there is much difference you will be able to see. But still, what you see outside India, we still have a gap to fill, which means new integration of new technologies is required, integration of processes is required. You require funding to come into such ecosystem to make the supplier and the manufacturers thrive nice and good, right? So these type of projects we do, where let's say one of my customers says that, okay, fine, because right now we have the trains which goes up to 160 kilometer per hour speed. That's the maximum it goes. Now you have Vande Bharat, which is 180 kilometer. Then you have got futuristic trains coming up, which you call 220 kilometer per hour speed. But 220 kilometer per hour speed से अगर आपको train बनाना है, आपको ecosystem बनाना होगा. You can't have the train running on the same track which is sustaining 160 kilometer per hour. तो आपको तो सबसे पहले track बदलना होगा. ट्रैक बदला, उसमें जो जितने इकोसिस्टम लगते हैं to make that whole thing workable. So that whole thing has to go. The train brake system has to work accordingly. Now you also have something called Kavach, as you know, as a technology, because train जैसे fog है और train चल रही है, and then let's say somebody is there, तो you don't want any accident to come. So you need to have technology, something like Kavach to come, more precise. अभी हमारे पास जो टेक्नोलॉजी है, it covers I think half a kilometer, but again you have to go more precise, like 1 kilometer, 2 kilometer, 5 kilometers. That's what you call technology integration and making the product more advanced. So we are working with so many suppliers and helping them to get the right set of technologies, bring to India, bid for the projects, localize the product, and work nice and good.
Very nice.
And help the Indian ecosystem make the GDP more stronger. So that's what we do.
And that's very interesting. और मुझे लगता है कि GDP strong का जो aim है, that should be the part and parcel of not only the government but the individual business owners also. But one thing that is also the concerning to me as an entrepreneur also, let us say when I go out as a consulting service company, we really feel that there is always a risk hedging. We have a less risk because it is a manpower which is sitting here. We don't need to go and make our people sit there.
Right.
But in case of manufacturing, if you go out and maybe have the acquisition done for a particular technology company or something like this, there's always a challenge in terms of what we have actually understood, that maybe because of the government policies in terms of FDI, you have something which may be favorable. Other countries may not have the investment policies as favorable as maybe you have or other countries have. Let's say Singapore has maybe, I think, one of the most favorable such policies, government policies I'm talking about. तो उस तरह के सिनेरियो में how the organization, let's say जो इंडिया कंपनी है, let's say आज के समय में वो इंडियन कंपनी बाहर जाती है और इस तरह का एक्विजिशन प्लान करती है, how much easy or difficult it is?
Nothing is difficult. I think any activity you are doing, it comes with its own pros and cons. Okay, whether you are expanding within the country or outside the country. If you talk about Indian company going abroad and setting up the business, what sector it is. So on back of that, you have to give the data points to the customer that, okay, अगर आप let's say ये कप बनाते हो, आपको कौन-कौन से countries में आप जाके ये product nicely you can make it and sell it. It's not just sell it. You also need to have an ecosystem जहाँ पे आप बना सकते हो. Same goes in India. Like क्यों लोग चाहते हैं कि ओके हम महाराष्ट्र में इन्वेस्टमेंट करें या तेलंगाना में करें, राइट? या फिर हम गुजरात चले जाएं. क्यों? क्योंकि 20 years से उसमें काम हो रखा है. you have the whole ecosystem built जहाँ पे आपको पता है कितने SEZ हैं, क्या incentive program है, आपको skilled labor चाहिए, right? So you also need a pool of labor ecosystem कि अच्छा ठीक है, अगर किसी ने resign किया या नहीं है, या let's say strike हो रहा है किसी जगह, आप same ecosystem शायद जैसे अभी उत्तर प्रदेश बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहा है, योगी जी is trying to do a lot of things, right? सेम गोज इन बिहार. तो जो इन्वेस्टमेंट गुजरात जा रही है वो जरूरी नहीं है कि वो सुटेबल बिहार के लिए भी हो, राइट? तो सेम गोज आउटसाइड इंडिया एज वेल कि जो इन्वेस्टमेंट अगर आप ऑटोमोबाइल बिजनेस में हो तो आप या तो मेक्सिको जा सकते हो या तो आप सम ऑफ द लैटिन अमेरिकन कंट्रीज जा सकते हो टू सर्व और केटर द अमेरिकन मार्केट, और इफ यू वांट टू केटर अफ्रीकन देन यू ईदर हैव टू गो टू साउथ अफ्रीका और टू मोरक्को. There are some other countries too, but you need to see कौन सी country में ecosystem established है. If it is related to, let's say, some other type of business, let's say if it is mining, so you have a different concept altogether. तो risk तो है, risk तो सांस लेने में भी है, तो business में है, but it's okay, it's worth it.
So when you mention ecosystem है कि नहीं है, मतलब कैसे पता चलेगा इकोसिस्टम है कि नहीं है?
That's why we come into the picture, right? And then we do all 360-degree analysis and tell the customer that, okay, fine, yeah, this is your product, and if you're wanting to take it to different parts of the world, then you should not go to this market, and you should go to that market. I tell you, one of my customer right now, they are getting into an electric vehicle, and that electric vehicle, it's something like, so the car is basically, a vehicle is defined into what is the ton, what is the weight of the vehicle. On back of that, you define कि अच्छा ये market में ये अच्छा है या नहीं अच्छा है. So there is a specific metric ton range we have that, okay, हमारा जो electric vehicle आने वाला है वो इस range में आने वाला है. So now we are doing that analysis for 18 countries plus India. 19 countries we are doing analysis. जहाँ पे the customer wants to understand कि अगर मैंने वो product इंडिया में बनाया and I'm doing the investment here, how I will be able to send those product on CKD basis, and in those countries how I will be able to assemble those product and make money out of it, right? तो बहुत analysis जाते हैं. You need to understand whether those countries are good enough from a output standpoint. पैसे मिलेंगे नहीं मिलेंगे, अगर मिलेंगे भी तो कैसे मिलेंगे, बैंकिंग सिस्टम ऑन प्लेस है नहीं, करेंसी एक्सचेंज क्या है, बैंक कितनी सपोर्टिव है, इकोसिस्टम क्या है, कितना फ्रॉड होता है, बहुत सारी चीजें आ जाती हैं. तो when we consult, we have to take care of all these points. It's not like, okay, fine, मैंने कहा अच्छा आपका ये प्रोडक्ट है, आप ये बनाते हो, आपके लिए सामने वाली ये पार्टनर है, आप दोनों पार्टनरशिप कर लो and then it's done. No. I think that work is good as well, but again too shallow from a consulting standpoint. You have to go much deeper to guide any organization who are running crores and crores of business, and so yeah.
No, I totally agree. For a business का ये acumen नहीं है.
Yeah.
बिजनेस के लिए ये इम्पोर्टेंट है कि वो जो अपना काम कर रही है वो बेहतर तरीके से कर सके.
Absolutely.
ये एक अलग तरीके की एक्टिविटी है फॉर इवेलुएटिंग द इकोसिस्टम ऑफ डिफरेंट कंट्री. और वहाँ पे क्या, एज यू मेंशन कि रिक्वायर्ड जो KPIs हैं, क्या रिसोर्स अवेलेबल है कि नहीं है, रॉ मटेरियल अवेलेबल है कि नहीं है, मनी कंपोनेंट के लिए रिटर्न या डिविडेंड अगर है कंपनी से आ रहा है तो क्या वापस लाना आसान है कि नहीं है, और द फ्रॉड और करप्शन एज ए द पार्ट ऑफ द इकोसिस्टम. ये सब चीजें बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हैं बिकॉज वंस यू इन्वेस्ट देन आई थिंक यू गेट स्टक ऑल्सो because it is not the one time activity for you, because your investment certainly have an ROI linked, and then you have to stay there for some time.
Absolutely. You have to see whether the government is, how politically the government is stable or not. That also becomes one of the very important factor. Right now you cannot think about investing in Russia because there is a war going on. Even though we have Putin over there who is much supportive for Indian companies, but again, if from an investment standpoint, a lot of companies will be like, okay, fine, I don't want to go to a conflicted country. Even though North Korea is giving you very good incentives right now, right? And I'm sure you would be seeing in the news, but will you go and invest? Question comes over there.
अच्छा, इस पूरे सिनेरियो में इंडियन गवर्नमेंट का जो रोल है वो कितना पॉजिटिव, या पॉजिटिव तो हमेशा रहेगा, बट हाउ मच प्रोएक्टिव दे आर इन टर्म्स ऑफ सपोर्टिंग अ बिजनेस?
If the FDI, it's an inward investment, government is supportive. From a central level, yes. State level, कुछ state हैं जो बहुत अच्छे हैं. They are ready to help the investors. But कुछ states हैं जो अभी we still have a lot of gap to fulfill and then make them up to a certain level. तो supportive हैं. ऐसा नहीं है intention में doubt है, but intention and execution में जर्नी है. एंड इंटेंशन एंड एग्जीक्यूशन, ये जर्नी में छोटी छोटी चीजें मायने रखती है, जैसे आप कैसे वो इकोसिस्टम बना रहे हो. सो इंटेंशन को रियलाइज करने के लिए आपको एग्जीक्यूशन पे ध्यान देना होता है. तो कुछ स्टेट्स हैं वेयर वी डोंट हैव दैट फैसिलिटी. समबडी थिंकिंग ऑफ लेट्स से पुटिंग समथिंग इन J&K may not be the very appropriate place for a few type of investment. But कुछ कोई कह रहा है कि okay, I want to invest in Telangana. It's okay. In few of the cases, Telangana is very good, Goa is good, Maharashtra is good, Odisha is doing very good at this moment, Uttar Pradesh is thriving, getting a lot of investment here. But again, MOU sign होना गवर्नमेंट के साथ, again it's one part, but वो MOU को realize करना भी एक बहुत बड़ा part है, जहाँ पे okay, somebody says I'm gonna do 2 billion of investment, but okay, on paper looks nice and good, but आगे क्या, आगे कैसे हो रहा है, what is the execution plan? So there we come as an organization, and we help the companies to understand, stitch all the points and tell the organization that okay, take this way.
ठीक है, इसी पार्ट को और समझते हैं. मे बी आई थिंक डोमेस्टिक मार्केट एज वेल एज द इंटरनेशनल मार्केट पर्सपेक्टिव से. डोमेस्टिक मार्केट में यू हैव टेकन सम स्टेट्स नेम, एंड देन व्हाट वी हैव आल्सो सीन कि किस हिसाब से हर एक स्टेट्स अपनी स्टेट लेवल जीडीपी की बात कर रहा है, एंड हाउ दे आर गोइंग आउट आल्सो इन टर्म्स ऑफ अट्रैक्टिंग द न्यू इन्वेस्टमेंट in their respective states.
Absolutely.
How some states are doing better compared to other states? You mentioned, let's say, Telangana, Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, Odisha. What makes it making these states better than other states?
They started working 10-15 years back. Right? So you have to give it to the timeline they have spent to make the policy nice and good. Right? Let's say if you want to invest in Kerala today or in West Bengal, आप नहीं कर पाओगे, क्योंकि वहां पे सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम अभी पॉलिटिक्स इज वन ऑफ द रीजन.
वेस्ट बंगाल तो अभी नहीं.
वेस्ट बंगाल एक टाइम पे इट यूज्ड टू बी अ सेंटर फॉर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग, फॉर बिजनेस. नाउ व्हेन यू लुक एट वेस्ट बंगाल, बहुत पीछे है. अब उसके पीछे बहुत सारे रीजन है. Politics is one of the reason, right? Skilled manpower is another reason, right? Raw materials, international investment coming over there, because आपको OEMs को आप बना रहे हो तो आप किसी को तो बेचोगे. तो अब अगर कोई बेचने के लिए खरीदने का वाला ही नहीं है, तो आप वहां बनाओगे भी तो फिर उसका क्या? Then you have to make the product, ship the product from there to different parts of India. There is a logistic cost. Whether it is going to make the product, each part, viable to sell, again a question mark. So you have to give it to the team who are sitting in every state and working on investment policies and execution. If I am calling out a couple of state names, which means they are working from 10-15 years, and today they have reached a position where they are like, okay, fine, we are one of the best. So you have to give it to them. Few states, it's there. थोड़ा लेट आए हैं, but कोई बात नहीं, आ जाएंगे.
तो आपके हिसाब से टॉप 3 स्टेट्स कौन से हैं?
Investment friendly, of course, Gujarat. Investment friendly है, lot of investment going over there. Maharashtra, Telangana, even Tamil Nadu, very good state for investment. You have lot of international and domestic companies sitting over there. Market भी अच्छा है. अभी NCR region is also thriving, but हम उतने mature शायद नहीं हुए हैं जितना हम जिससे हम कंपेयर कर रहे हैं. शायद हरियाणा पार्ट इज स्टिल इज ओके. Even Rajasthan, few parts, SEZ parts and few other parts are okay. But still, on the way we are.
Government का एक initiative था ease of doing business.
Yeah.
They started in maybe I think 15-16.
Yeah.
The moment the current government government form ki, then I think they started this activity. How much such policies have helped the state in terms of making the roads better for the investors, particularly for the manufacturers who want to maybe I think build their manufacturing plants in those specific states. उसका रीजन बताता हूँ. मुझे लगता है कि बहुत सारे स्टेट्स में जो डीप रूटेड करप्शन है वो एक तरीके का डिटरेंट भी है. इवन इफ लेट्स से अ कंपनी और मैन्युफैक्चरिंग ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जो कि लेटेस्ट से झारखंड की है, सो दे मे बी एबल टू डू द मैन्युफैक्चरिंग और द बिजनेस देयर लोकली बिकॉज वो लोकल है. लेकिन कोई महाराष्ट्र से जा करके झारखंड में बिजनेस कर ले, ये बहुत बड़ा टफ टास्क है उसके लिए. तो व्हाट वी वर थिंकिंग कि शायद जब ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस की जो पॉलिसीज आएंगी या इम्प्लीमेंट हो रही हैं या हो चुकी हैं, तो उसके बाद शायद लेवल प्लेइंग फील्ड बन जाएगी. बट ऐसा हुआ नहीं है अभी तक. स्टिल वी हैव द प्रायोरिटी लिस्ट. व्हाई सच पॉलिसीज आर नॉट एबल टू maybe get rooted well so far?
It's all on the execution team. If the government wants to execute it nice and good, they will do it. There's no doubts on it. Depend करता है who is running that state, what is their intention, what is their priority. जैसे कुछ स्टेट हैं जहाँ पे शायद मैन्युफैक्चरिंग नहीं हो सकती है. जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल लेट्स से टॉक अबाउट नागालैंड. Too far for manufacturing something. But अगर वहाँ पे अगर कुछ मैन्युफैक्चर हो भी रहा है तो wood industry is doing good. So Nagaland have got ample amount of natural resources, and they have a lot of processing units which makes the industry work nice and good in the wood side. बट अगर मैं वहाँ पे रेलवे का काम करूँ तो शायद वो वाइबल नहीं है ना. अगर मैं वहाँ पे माइनिंग का करूँ तो शायद हो सकता है. बट अगर मैं वहाँ पे फार्मास्यूटिकल लगा दूँ तो शायद वो वाइबल नहीं है, अनलेस एंड अनटिल माय इंटेंशन इज नॉट टू ओनली केटर नागालैंड बट आल्सो सेल इट टू म्यांमार और नेबरिंग कंट्रीज, राइट. तो अगेन डिपेंड करता है. रही बात करप्शन की, अनुराग, करप्शन हर जगह है. कौन से देश में नहीं है? It's not only India. I mean, as we are working into multiple countries, we work with the government, we work with the private players. Corruption is everywhere. So, eliminating corruption will be a very difficult task for any country. You have to see how structured corruption you are able to do it. Again, I'm not saying because I'm promoting corruption. No, not at all. होना ही नहीं चाहिए. But अगर है भी जो जिसको निकालना बहुत मुश्किल है, तो let's make it a structured corruption. Business people, they don't mind. It's fine. I mean, if I am putting some money and I'm getting this much, it's okay for us, right? Same goes, let's say, in Russia. You have a different type of working model. You go to African countries. It's way crazy. So, corruption is there, but you need to see.
ठीक है. तो अब इंटरनेशनल सिनेरियो में बात करते हैं. You mentioned Russia. I'm sure like you must have worked with European countries.
Yeah. We have office.
You have an office there, and then Africa as region, and then UAE or I would say West Asia region.
Yes. So at this moment we have our headquarters is in India. Apart from India, we have full-fledged office with team members sitting in Europe, and full-fledged office with the team member in Russia. We have a Chinese wall between the both sanctioned and not sanctioned countries, because India have a good relation with Russia and CIS region. It's okay for us to work, and we have a lot of customers. And Europe also, on a ground level, people do understand. But from a policy level, people have challenge, which is okay.
Maybe I think I would like to ask the question, let's say you work in these multiple regions, and which region is the preferred region with respect to the inward remittance point of view for India? for, because we need the dollars. So it means that we really feel that the inward component will be more. So which component, says, for example, Russia, Europe, मिडिल ईस्ट और अफ्रीका, कोई इंडिया आना चाहता है या इंडिया से ही लोग वहां पे
नहीं, बहुत लोग इंडिया आना चाहते हैं. आई थिंक यूरोप इज वन ऑफ द प्राइम लोकेशन एट दिस मोमेंट वेयर लॉट ऑफ कंपनीज आर wanting to come to India. It's like, they want a good hand holding mechanism because their working culture is very different than what our culture is. So they don't want to get into a situation jahan pe unke sath kuch cheeze ठीक नहीं हुआ उनके expectations से, and they feel like, okay, I have burnt my fingers, I don't want to go there. So that's why we are very cautious when we work with the European countries or the countries which are developed and have a different working culture. So Europe, though, for sure, now we have a mother trade deal, so which is supporting a lot, and we see a lot of traction coming from there. If I talk about Russia, as I have a full-fledged office and we are working in the market since very long time, I have more than 70 customers from Russia. I tell you, they want to work with the market where they are able to make business. India is a very good market considering the geopolitical situation, considering the population, demography, multiple things. इंडिया अच्छा मार्केट है, लेकिन जब रशियंस को काम करना है तो उनके पास सारे मार्केट अभी बंद हैं. They can't go to Europe, they can't go to America. They can only go to either Middle East, Africa, or the eastern part of the world.
Or global south primarily.
Yeah, global south, barring again Australia, New Zealand, right? तो अब मार्केट उनके लिए बहुत ज्यादा छोटा हो गया है. On top of it, we have this Hormuz issue, and which is making market much more, narrowed. Right? तो अब उनके पास कुछ ही मार्केट बचा है. Plus on top of it, उनके रूबल्स फंसे हुए हैं इंडिया में. तो अभी उनके लिए प्रायोरिटी पे है कि okay, they have to work with the Indian market. So we have Sberbank here, which facilitate all the transaction from Russia to India. We also have Gazprom and VTB and couple of other banks too. In past 4 years, I tell you, Sberbank के पास 20 लोगों की टीम हुआ करती थी. आज जाकर के देखो उनके पास 350-400 लोगों की टीम उन्होंने 4 साल में बिठा दी है, because there is an inflow. अब ये inflow, it's not a natural inflow, because बहुत सारे circumstances हैं. यूरोप वाले जो है वो नेचुरल इन्फ्लो है, बिकॉज इंडिया डेमोग्राफी वाइज गिविंग यू गुड आउटपुट. बट रशिया के लिए थोड़ा कॉम्प्लिकेटेड है. They also have to utilize the fund which is sitting here. Bank is giving them a lot of support. So good market. But you have. I mean, I can't say that कि रशिया अच्छा है या यूरोप अच्छा है. सब अच्छे हैं. डिपेंड करता है किस साइज पे कौन बिजनेस कर रहा है.
सेक्टर कौन सा है. एक और चीज है, फॉर एग्जांपल जैसे अभी FTA हुआ है यूरोप यूनियन और इंडिया के बीच में. So let's say there is an organization in Europe which is into let's say automobile manufacturing component, and they want to come to India to manufacture. They want to set up an organization here. So what are their specific concern and how these concerns can be mitigated through your support? जैसे top 3 concern क्या हो सकते हैं?
Again, depend on which part it is. So, for example, in automobile, electric vehicle is barred because the government of India wanting the green energy to be indigenized. We are promoting our people itself. So, we are not going to buy the product from outside India and then use it domestically. We want our product. तो उस पे अगर कोई भी प्रोडक्ट बाहर से यूरोप से इंडिया आ रहा है, you have a certain import duty which you have to pay. उस पे कोई ट्रेड डील जो हमारा हुआ है, there is no certain changes in that. It's there. But रही बात normal vehicles की बात कर रहे हो, तो yes, the import duty have gone down, which is making the European companies to supply their product from there to India in much cheaper cost. And that makes the product in India a bit cheaper so that it goes to various people, right? So end user के perspective से yes, it is going to give the benefit because of the trade deal, but at the same time, this is again, if you're buying something, you have to pay the money, so the money remittance has to go out. You're not getting it. But if you see, there are some sectors जहाँ पे you are supposed to give the product to the European region, that will be much efficient from selling the product in a much cheaper cost and getting the remittance and the attraction of the buyers in the Indian market. Again, FTI को लेकर के, मतलब ये free trade agreement is there, but FTI it is not directly linked unless and until somebody is really thinking to send some product on CKD basis to India and localize and then sell to the Indian market.
Maybe I think जैसे concern का मेरा मतलब था कि जैसे sometimes they have a right partner.
Yeah.
And then sometimes there's a dispute between the partners. That is one thing.
Right.
Second, they have a, let's say, a project which gets the issue is maybe stuck in the government policies issues, right? कि उनको जैसे यहाँ पे आए प्लांट मैन्युफैक्चर स्टार्ट किया, और इन्वायरमेंटल इम्पैक्ट असेसमेंट में फंस गए, या उन्होंने प्रॉफिट बनाया और प्रॉफिट का डिविडेंड दे वांट टू ब्रिंग इट बैक टू देयर कंट्री, या प्रॉफिट नहीं बना पा रहे हैं तो लॉसेस को किस हिसाब से कंपनसेट करें, इफ देयर इज एनी टैक्स रिलीफ, देयर इज अ बेनिफिट. तो कहीं ना कहीं ये इंश्योरेंस कंपोनेंट भी है कि भाई मतलब आप बाहर से आइए, वील सपोर्ट यू, not support that beyond the specific way, but within the policy limit, or how the government is supportive to such maybe specific areas, at least hearing their concern, trying to mitigate those concern. उस तरह का कुछ इश्यूज आते हैं क्या? मतलब
बिल्कुल फॉर श्योर आते हैं. Policies are there to support, to create the infrastructure, but it's not only in India, it's everywhere. हाँ. तो अगर आप आ रहे हो, इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हो, तो you need to ensure that कि आप पॉलिसी के अकॉर्डिंगली इन्वेस्ट करो. Let's say we have an anti-dumping policy, right? So you can't expect कि ठीक है मैं इंडिया जा रहा हूँ तो मैं ये चीज नहीं करूंगा. क्यों? आपको फॉलो तो करना पड़ेगा, right? तो one of our customer, they are into alumina. No, it's a
alumina, yeah.
It's a raw material. They were buying the product from India, taking in their country, processing it and bringing back to the Indian market. So they had a concern कि oh okay fine, you know, why I am double taxed because उनको तो जा रहा है फिर आ रहा है, बट अब पॉलिसी तो चेंज नहीं कर सकते हो, राइट? कितनी भी अपील दे दोगे, वो पॉलिसी कैसे बदल देंगे आप? यू नो, यू हैव टू वर्क एज पर व्हाट गवर्नमेंट हैज सजेस्टेड.
जस्ट इंटरप्शन, जो भी पॉलिसीज हम लोग की बात करते हैं इस तरह में, तो ये तो मतलब ग्लोबल लेवल पे.
हाँ, इट्स सेम. अगर आपको ये पॉलिसी यूरोप के किसी कंट्री में है, I'm sure you will follow it. Why India is exception? You have to come and follow.
हाँ, बिल्कुल.
Right? If you're going to, let's say, America, you have to follow it. So it's okay. So I don't think कि policy level पे कोई concern है. Yes, we have to have the policy much refined way. But अगर है तो everybody have to follow. It's no embargo on anything specific.
Correct. हाँ. मतलब कुछ issue जैसे वोडाफोन का एक issue हुआ बीच में, या फॉर एग्जाम्पल रिवर्स केस में भी देखते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल यूरोप हैज रिसेंटली मेड CBAM पॉलिसी मैंडेटरी फॉर सम हार्ड टू अबेट सेक्टर्स, है ना, कि उनका एक कार्बन बॉर्डर एडजस्टमेंट मैकेनिज्म है कि अगर कोई भी लेट्स से स्टील, यस, इस तरह की जो हार्ड टू अबेट सेक्टर्स हैं, अगर वो वहाँ पे एक्सपोर्ट करना चाहता है इंडिया से, उसके लिए मिनिमम कंप्लायंसेस हैं कि उसका कार्बन एमिशन इतना होना चाहिए.
करेक्ट.
तो अब इसमें क्या है, जो सेकेंडरी मार्केट है हमारे यहाँ पे, जो MSMEs या SMEs मार्केट है, they have they are not complying at this point of time क्योंकि शायद अभी उनको उस लेवल से उस लेवल तक पहुंचने के लिए समय लगेगा।
Right.
तो कभी कभी ऐसा भी लगता है कि यूरोप या इंडिया में भी मतलब हर एक कंट्री अपने हिसाब से पॉलिसी अपने इंडस्ट्री के सेफगार्ड के लिए बनाती है।
Absolutely.
And then there is always a tussle कि हमें लगता है कि शायद हमारे लिए वो डिटरेंट क्रिएट कर रहे हैं and vice versa also. But let's say when you help these businesses as a hand holding to such thing, you help them in hand holding such services also, or you only give the market insight that these are the 5 activities that they need to comply with, or is the specific activities, or there are certain
No,
back channels also that you tie up with support the organization
we
fully?
do help the companies for
Fair
entire
enough.
activity.
Mhm.
Obviously, we don't help the companies for sales, which is not, I mean, they have their sales team. They will do the sales.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't help them to sell the product.
Yeah.
But whatever is needed to stitch and make a good ecosystem for them to thrive nice and good, we do it. Yeah. Whether it is related to, let's say, if it is related to policy, right? And if they say that, okay, fine, ye, theek hai, I am able to understand the policy, but I want to appeal the government कि आप मेरे लिए change कर दो. हम कर देंगे submit आपका paper, no problem. हम जाकर के government से ही बात कर लेंगे, but वो policy change होगी नहीं होगी, that's something not in my hand, right?
Policy change का I think we work in the policy, so I can truly can tell that this is not very easy area.
It's not easy. I tell you, one of my customer, so they are into a specific kind of product, and they are getting everything from China and white labeling it and selling to the Indian market. अब गवर्नमेंट ने बोला है कि भैया अब हमने एंटी डंपिंग पॉलिसी है, यू हैव टू प्रमोट द इंडियन कंपनीज. तो अब वो पॉलिसी आप चेंज नहीं कर सकते ना, अब उसका खुद का बहुत अच्छा बिजनेस सेटअप है, बट यू कांट गो एंड चेंज द पॉलिसी नाउ. यू हैव टू वर्क आउट सम वेज कि ठीक है, हाउ यू गोइंग टू लोकलाइज, हाउ यू गोइंग टू असेंबल, क्या करोगे, कैसे करोगे. सो ये पूरी अंडरस्टैंडिंग एंड स्टिचिंग, इट कम्स ऑन आर्किटेक्ट टू मेक आवर कस्टमर अवेयर अबाउट कि भाई ऐसा मत करो या फिर ऐसा करो. So we strongly recommend the organization who works with us, and then many companies, they take a decision on back of that. So
one more maybe I think case study that comes to my mind. Let's say Tesla recently they got into the India market in terms of selling their cars.
Yeah,
I'm sure like उसको भी किसी FDI कंसल्टिंग फर्म्स ने कंसल्ट किया होगा.
एलॉन मस्क को कंसल्टिंग फर्म नहीं चाहिए. He's genius. But yes,
yeah, that's okay. I think, but business में उसने अपना काम कर दिया. Now the people have to sell. They have to have the distribution channel, and then they sell it. So I'm sure like उसके लिए तो लोग चाहिए उसको. उसके लिए कंसल्टिंग फर्म्स भी चाहिए. तो अब देखा जाए तो उसने जब बिजनेस सेटअप किया है, बट स्टिल दे आर स्ट्रगलिंग इन टर्म्स ऑफ मेकिंग देयर सेल्स नंबर इवन रीचिंग टू द 3-digit नंबर एट दिस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम इन इंडिया. जबकि टेस्ला के लिए लोगों का क्रेज कम नहीं है. ईवी का मार्केट बहुत तेजी से बढ़ भी रहा है. व्हाट डू यू थिंक? मे बी आई थिंक जस्ट इट्स जस्ट अ इमेजिनरी क्वेश्चन. वेयर हैज द थिंग गो रॉन्ग इन दिस केस?
I can't say कि कुछ गलत हो रहा है. It's part of the process. I'm sure the numbers are not going down. जो sales number हो रहे होंगे वो ऊपर ही जा रहे होंगे. I think it's about the penetration of the product or marketing of the product to the right people. So that's something I'm sure Tesla guys would be working, because India में तो कुछ भी बिकता है. आप कुछ भी बेच सकते हो. आप चाहे वो टेस्ला बेच रहे हो या फिर आप टेस्ला का पेन बेच रहे हो, सब बिकेगा. कैसे बेचना चाहते हो,
मार्केट साइज है,
मार्केट साइजिंग, वो पेनिट्रेशन आप कैसे कर रहे हो, वो आपको डिफाइन करना है. टेस्ला हैव a great history in China, because they have a manufacturing plant over there, and China is one of the greatest example of having electrifying the whole country, from a mobility standpoint. And I'm very impressed with China, by the way. I mean, I hope nobody comes and
You have an office there?
no, I don't have, but I have partners in China, and I'm actually traveling to China next week. But that country has impressed me so good. I mean, ठीक है, I am nationalistic. Yes, I love my country, but कुछ चीजें आप ignore नहीं कर सकते हैं. And China has reached over there, right? तो अगर policy implementation की बात कर रहे हो, look at the country. The way they have implemented the policy, they created and then executed. Amazing.
क्या लगता है आपको where we are lacking in terms of policy implementation?
I think execution is the factor.
टेस्ला के केस में भी गवर्नमेंट हैज ट्राइड इट्स लेवल बेस्ट कि आप बार-बार बोलती रही कि आप
टेस्ला लोकलाइज नहीं कर रहा ना,
उसको बार-बार बोलती रही कि आप जब तक मैन्युफैक्चरिंग प्लांट नहीं सेटअप करोगे तब तक हम तुम्हें एंट्री नहीं देंगे.
नहीं, हाँ, बिकॉज अगर आप फ्री ट्रेड अग्रीमेंट की भी बात कर रहे हो तो वहां पे भी कुछ चीजें हैं जो नहीं उस पे आपको लीवे मिला है, which includes green energy. And green energy have got electric mobility as well. तो वो जब तक localize नहीं करेगा तब तक he won't be able to avail the certain policies in a deeper way. So, but again, Tesla is a cash-rich company. They can do anything in the world. But I'm sure. I think because I have a lot of electric vehicle manufacturing companies working with us, and this problem is not only with Tesla; it's with everyone. कि ठीक है, हम अपना sales कैसे बढ़ाएं? जैसे Tata is doing very good in their couple of models which they have. You have Electra, which is again a subsidiary of BYD, which is a Chinese company. They have taken a call to make in India. That's why they are able to sustain, or they will be able to sustain. Not like ये ठीक है, okay fine, हम कर रहे हैं. MG Motors, it was a Chinese company. It was a forced decision by the government कि भाई नहीं, तुमने इंडिजनाइज करना है, जो कर भी रहे थे, but आप इक्विटी JSW ने ले लिया majority, right? तो पॉलिसी है तो करना तो पड़ेगा, करना पड़ेगा. And again, you know, when I say fine, India is doing great, no doubts on it, everything is nice and good, but we always have to think कि हमारा comparison किसके साथ है. Are we comparing with Somalia or Nepal or Bangladesh or Pakistan, let's say, or are we comparing with China and America or let's say Russia, let's say whoever it is, right? तो जब comparison level आता है तो it has to be in a parity. You cannot say that कि अच्छा ठीक है, हम बहुत अच्छा कर रहे हैं, ओके, नेपाल से बहुत अच्छा कर रहे हैं, हाँ हम बहुत अच्छा कर रहे हैं, बट नाउ यू सी, आर वी डूइंग एज ग्रेट एज व्हाट लेट्स से चाइना इज डूइंग, राइट? अब डिफरेंस क्या है? पॉलिसी एंड एग्जीक्यूशन. दैट्स द ओनली डिफरेंस वी हैव. एंड पॉलिसी एंड एग्जीक्यूशन में ऐसा नहीं कि आज मैंने पॉलिसी बनाया और एग्जीक्यूशन में 5 साल बात कर रही हूँ और 5 साल के बाद गवर्नमेंट चेंज हो गई, है ना? तो complications हैं. We all are working hand in hand. We are working with the government. We are working with our manufacturers, whether it is big or small or medium size. We are there. I think entrepreneurs' job is very difficult job. So we have to commit to people. So we are there. We are there to support them. But yes, we have to fasten the process.
Maybe I think you also mentioned कि जैसे चाइना बहुत अच्छा कर रहा है, सभी मतलब हम सब लोग जानते हैं. But from the electric car perspective, what is one thing that you have an insight? आपको लगता है कि नहीं, इंडिया को भी वो एक एक्टिविटी तो करनी ही चाहिए to make the market much more, maybe I think conducive to the electric car manufacturers from across the globe?
Policies are there. I think, you know, these type of products are innovative products, and it requires a lot of fund to make the product. There is a big possibility कि शायद जो companies करना भी चाहते हैं, they might not have enough fund to make the product nice and good. Because you have to be competitive. Tesla है, अगर आप कह रहे हो चाइना में टेस्ला है, but टेस्ला जैसी 5 और कंपनीज हैं चाइना में जो काफी अच्छा कर रही हैं. they are Chinese companies, right? अगर वहाँ आईफोन बन रहा है तो उसके अलावा वहाँ पे Xiaomi भी है और बाकी प्रोडक्ट्स भी हैं.
सब लोगों ने सीख करके ही बनाया है.
हाँ, करा है, बट इट्स ओके.
नहीं, that's fine. मतलब I'm not basically
because of China being the production hub. When US says that I am sitting nice and good and enjoying my life, and our GDP is this much, and our per wages per capita is this much. So जब वो कहते हैं, they have to thank China because वो cheaper product बना के बेच रहे हैं. आप वहाँ पे आपको पैसे ज़्यादा मिल रहे हैं, आप सस्ते में खरीद रहे हो, तो आपके पास पैसे ample amount of money you have to have a luxurious life. It's okay. Okay. Now coming back to this, we are not able to build a competition in India, right? अगर हमारे पास competition, let's say ChatGPT और cloud का competition क्या है, तो शायद एक या दो कंपनीज ही आएंगी इंडिया में. बट वो कंपनीज, उनका फ्यूचर क्या है? अगर गवर्नमेंट कहेगी कि ठीक है पॉलिसी तो है बट मैं आपको पैसे नहीं दूंगा, है ना, तो फिर उनका फ्यूचर क्या है? दे विल गेट सोल्ड टू समबडी लाइक क्लाउड, दे विल गेट सोल्ड टू ChatGPT, बिकॉज एंटरप्रेन्योर को भी तो जीना है. हर टाइम तो भाई हम स्ट्रगल नहीं करेंगे ना, हमको भी जीना है. वी आर टेकिंग रिस्क एज वेल, राइट? तो I think we are not able to have a competition right now in aerospace and in private aviation and aerospace ecosystem. Government is putting money. Right now we have so many private entities who are able to make satellites and putting it over there. Right? तो ये सेक्टर जहाँ पे गवर्नमेंट को लगा है क्या नहीं ये तो हमको ठीक करना है, तो गवर्नमेंट कर रही है. At the same time government also have to think कि ठीक है बाकी सेक्टर्स भी तो है, वी हैव टू मेक इट नाइस एंड गुड. तो वही है कि एग्जीक्यूशन, हाउ फास्ट यू कैन डू इट, हाउ फास्ट यू आर थिंकिंग टू मेक इट बेटर.
No, I agree कि I think गवर्नमेंट अपने हिसाब से बहुत सारी चीजें कर रही है.
कंपटीशन क्रिएट नहीं हो रहा है. कंपटीशन के लिए आई थिंक गवर्नमेंट शुड पुट फंड्स, शुड एलोकेट फंड्स टू कंपनीज एंड स्पेसिफिक टू फ्यू सेक्टर्स जहाँ पे कंपनीज आर डूइंग नाइस एंड गुड. आई टेल यू, some of the funds countries also put it. For example, Israel had a specific fund between India and Israel. Okay, तो उन्होंने कहा कि ठीक है हम आपको पैसे देंगे, आप इंडिया जाओ और जाकर के अपना प्रोडक्ट बेचो. मैं आपको दूंगा $1 million और लेट्स से $5 million. सिमिलरली इंडियन गवर्नमेंट ऑल्सो सेड कि हम भी आपको कुछ पैसा देंगे, राइट? तो अब यहाँ पे क्या है कि टू कंट्रीज वर्किंग टुगेदर, ज्वाइनिंग हैंड्स एंड देन डूइंग फॉर द डोमेस्टिक मार्केट. इट इज गुड, बट सेम टाइम वी हैव टू थिंक लिटिल वाइडर. तो पैसे की जरूरत है, पैसे की सख्त जरूरत है टू क्रिएट अ कॉम्पिटिशन. I feel like.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think resource requirement तो
for sure,
बहुत जरूरी है.
For sure. Government कहती है okay fine, I'm going to promote Indian consulting business. Okay fine. Right now you have all big fours. But ठीक है, आप Indian consulting business को promote कर रहे हो, फिर आगे क्या कर रहे हो, है ना? तो हमको वो भी देखना है कि okay fine, how we are stitching everything. Again, I'm not saying I'm not getting benefit. I am getting benefit. It's okay. But again, there are many competition also we have in the market, and we have to feel and understand the pain of others as well. So execution needs to be faster, and fund has to come.
Very good. So AI is also the new fuel that we see.
Yeah.
It basically transitioning almost everything.
Yeah.
How do you see this particular technology is impacting your business?
I think consulting is a very innovative business, because you always have to, you are trained in a way where you have to think out of the box. That's why people are paying you that okay fine, आप मुझे क्यों hire कर रहे हो, because I'm gonna come and suggest you which is out of the box, right? AI tool is good to do a specific task, but ये चीज के लिए अभी वो trained नहीं हुई है. So we have to be friends with AI tools, no doubts on it. Even in my organization, because we have an intelligence department altogether, I think in that department everybody have the license to various tools to see what data we can collect from different parts of the world. So collecting data, gathering information is good, but again on back of that you have to do the analysis, put your intelligence, your resources, and then think out of the box and then suggest the companies. That's something not going to be impacted for a very long time. And you know, end of the day, human touch is very important. If you are wanting to invest, let's say $1 billion in some of the project, you will not expect to invest on back of what bot is saying to you. You will expect what people are coming and saying to you, right? It's always a human touch.
It has made the information collection or the data collection part much easier.
Much easier.
For both, upside, downside, both.
Both, yeah.
So for the organizations who are your client, they certainly have much access to the information.
Yeah.
They can verify your specific suggestions and,
True.
this thing.
Yeah.
For you also, for your people as well, I think the information access, which I think you used to take, let's say, a week time, now maybe I think a day time.
A day time is good enough.
Is good enough.
Yeah. So I think as we have a lot of data access, which is making the people in my organization a couple of level up. Because हम पहले जो काम कर रहे थे वो हमको काम करने में 2 दिन लग रहे हैं. Now you are getting all the information in 2 hours. तो अब now you have a benchmark set कि okay fine ये तो है हमारे पास. Now let's think beyond that. So you have to upgrade. If you are not able to upgrade, then you are not right suitable candidate for consulting business or any type of business where you have access of data. So even the customer have gone more intelligent. Because they are not coming and saying that कि अच्छा मुझे बताओ क्या करना चाहिए. They know उनको क्या करना चाहिए and they become more precise and talk on the point that okay fine हमारे पास ये fund है, हमने ये sector ढूंढा है and now we want to do this. So it makes our life much easier. So we don't have to do ocean boiling. So yeah, it's much easier.
Yeah. And across the globe, what we have studied, the organizations like yours, which is into business consulting, as well as, let's say, FDI consulting, they have started productize their services.
Yeah.
So it means that it is not required to have 50 people. It is only required, let's say, 10 people. But the product requires, so the services knowledge and the know-how that you have built over a period of, let's say, 6 years of time, maybe the product can always help you in terms of getting more business. As well as maybe I think more reliable information as a part of your service through the product. That is what we have seen particularly in such similar companies in Europe or in maybe some specific, let's say, in the case of US as well. So maybe I think what we understand that the moment we look at the data or insights, such businesses, they will be becoming better with the use of such tools.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you have to innovate yourself. There is no question on it. And if you are not friends with the new technologies, you are not in right league. So that innovation is for sure it is required, and we are also innovating day-to-day basis, trying new tools, understanding कैसे क्या होता है and all. So it's there. But coming back to this number of people, I think yes, you require less people, but again depends on how deeper data you look for from an analysis standpoint, right? So agar I'll tell you, there's one project we are doing. It's into understanding the user behavior of into luxury segment. Okay,
which sector?
Multiple sector it is. Now let's say you are an HNI, right? And I need to understand from you that, okay, for you, what is luxury means, right? So we have conducted so many interviews in India, and we have done such in-depth surveys, जहाँ पे शायद AI tool बहुत impactful नहीं होगा, शायद data points दे दे हमें कि okay fine, yes, this is the penetration percentage going up and down into particular sector, these are the HNIs of India, and ये information मिल जाएगा. But if you are one of the HNI and if I'm not sitting across the table and understanding what luxury means to you, do you think luxury means having a nice fancy car, or having multiple houses, or having houses out of the country, or having Rolex or Omega on your wrist, or maybe, I don't know, having different kind of paintings? So that's something, you have to understand. वहाँ पे AI अभी बहुत impactful नहीं है, but yes, when we collect all the data and when we have to structure it, then AI comes. Now, when we do such thing, we need people to do the analysis and to structure the whole thing. Let's say अगर हमने 200 interviews लिए, तो 200 इंटरव्यूज हमको कलेक्ट करके इंफॉर्मेशन डालना भी है, तो शायद वो स्किल सेट्स जो हमको पहले चाहिए थे डेटा कलेक्ट करने के लिए, शायद उसकी जरूरत नहीं है हमें. बट नाउ वी रिक्वायर अ डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ पीपल विद अ डिफरेंट स्किल सेट टू डू अ डिफरेंट जॉब ऑल टुगेदर. तो आई कैन नॉट से कि हमने हेड काउंट्स कम कर दिए हैं. हेड काउंट्स हैं, different profiles addition होते जा रहे हैं, and some job where we don't require people to do a very menial task, it has replaced by AI tool. Yes, I do agree. Or if they are ready to upscale themselves and do something else, we have a different way of getting those person inside and make that person work and utilize the time. So it depends on person to person as well.
No, I think one recent study that I have gone through. So there are multiple views on these aspects. So maybe I think for some countries where in general demography resources are less, they'll also be benefited. Some countries where the demography resources are high, let's say China, India, will also be benefited. It is not necessary that this will be the disadvantage component for us, because when we have a more number of people, their upskilling through the tools may make them much more valuable assets for the country.
True, very true.
So it depends how we build the overall ecosystem, whether we are not helping every strata of people,
right,
or we are only targeting one specific, let's say, demography which is already well educated or already in practice. So I think we really need to look at the ecosystem, starting from school to
absolutely.
everything.
Yeah, the schooling system needs to be improvised in much faster way now, because those are the foundations. That's how you are preparing the kids to become unique in the world. So that's require much deeper attention at this moment. Yes.
So Nidhi, I have a rapid fire round also for you.
Okay.
So maybe I think the first question, so in this case, so the questions are smaller, the responses are also one liner or one word, very small response. The first question is, let's say, what is the lesson that you have from Reliance that you are using in Verco every week or every month or any specific frequency?
Okay. I think, processes. When you're working in bigger companies, you understand the value of process. In entrepreneurship, yes. Startup companies, yes, we have the process, but it takes time to build the process and get it over there. So I think when you work, process is something which is very important, and we also have fight sometimes with the colleagues and peers that, okay, fine, why I should do it, and I'm like, okay, no, that's a process, you have to do it. So process is something which we practice, which we have learned from bigger companies like Reliance. They are good, they have good processes. And when you work, I think this is addition to what question you asked. When you work in different organization, you learn what not to practice as well.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Actually, not to learn is very important.
Yeah.
So, koi example hai not to learn ka?
Yes. So one of my manager, he spoke to me in not appropriate way in my career. So I think that was one of the time when I realized, okay, fine, ye galat hai, ye nahi hona chahiye. And when I started the company, me and Pradeep, we were like, okay, fine, this is something we cannot practice. You wanna scold somebody, it's okay, you can. You want to put your point in a more serious way, you can, but you can't raise your voice and make it impactful, because it is not going to make it impactful. You can speak to people in a softer way and make it impactful. So I think that was something I was like, okay, fine, ye nahi karna hai. Many things, I mean, there were many things which was there, which I was like, okay, ye nahi karna hai.
Fair point. So as a woman entrepreneur, आपको maybe I think कौन ऐसा लगता है which maybe who has inspired you to the core?
I can give you some examples like Kiran Majumdar. She's a great entrepreneur and doing great. And there are n number of people you can actually see and look upon, depending on which sector it is. When you look into, let's say, Bollywood or Hollywood, you have, let's say, Priyanka Chopra doing very good. She's an entrepreneur. She has a couple of brands which is running and she's doing extremely good. At the same time, you look at Nykaa founder, right? It's a tech, fashion tech company she founded, and look at her, the way she has built the company, and then the whole thing is getting practice. It's amazing. You have to give it to Falguni as well. And again, these are few names we see and then we talk about it. But there are some names which you don't talk about. Like, for example, my mother-in-law, she runs a school. And she is running a school from 35 years.
Wow.
So she's one of the entrepreneur which I have encountered in my life.
She's
and
from
I'm
Lucknow?
like, okay. Yes, she lives in Pithoragarh. So, and she's in Uttarakhand, yes. But she's doing extremely good. So again, not very famous, but again, she's an entrepreneur as well. And you have to give it to her. Same goes with many other people. No, entrepreneurship is not something you have to see from a different lenses, how you want to define.
One of the biggest myth that you can point out as an entrepreneur about the entrepreneurship.
Okay. So the first, I think you feel like an owner. That's the biggest myth, because yes, you write it on the document, but you are not the owner. The people are working with you, they are the owners. So that's one of the biggest myth. I want to crack it, and I want to tell people that, hey, you want to come as an entrepreneur, don't think that, okay, you want to be the owner of something and that's how you are coming. No, you are not.
One of the specific sector that you feel that will have a maximum potential with respect to the FDI in India?
A lot. Right now we have a good traction in defense. A lot of companies are coming and making the product in India. A lot of funds are also putting by the Indian government. So defense is good. Medical field is very good. FMCG for good products are pretty good too. I mean, there are many sectors, but these are a few. Definitely, you see a lot of traction.
Defense, pharmaceutical?
Defense, not only pharma, like med tech.
Med tech.
Yeah, med tech is important. Not only the pharmaceutical one, but med tech have got multiple varieties. So you can be a technology-based companies to scan your retina and tell you that, hey, do you have sugar or not? You don't have to put that needle in your finger to get the blood sugar tested, right? Again, I'm just giving you some hypothetical example, but yes, medtech is also growing quite good. ESG, another one, by the way. Government is putting a lot of effort to make the policy look nice and good, and sustainability is very important for the government. So ESG is also thriving at this moment, and thriving in not in a way like it's at the best position, but yes, we are there. I think in next 5 to 8 years timeline, we will be going to that direction, having the best policies.
What is your opinion for the women reservation in the private sector? You might have witnessed the bill in the parliament for the women reservation. But what is your opinion for the private sector reservation for women?
Okay, so I don't know how to answer this, because I, being a woman, have always benefited me. It depends how you want to look to the world. And as I said, you have to wear different lenses. And you have to see what is your goal as well. So being a woman have always helped me. So I cannot say that, okay, fine, I need a reservation. That because it has always helped me. So if I'm a woman, it's good. But there are certain categories where women feel challenged, especially women after marriage, when they get pregnant and they want to come back. There is a problem where when you are, let's say, hiring, you always question that, okay, as you are mother of, let's say, 1 or 2 kids, how are you going to manage? That always comes as a challenge. I think we have to normalize it, because in European world or in the West world, okay, you have children, you are working at home, you are getting the children to the school, you are coming to office, then you're going back, you're managing it.
Mhm.
It's very normal over there.
Mhm.
But in India, it has to normalize.
Mhm.
I'm okay if women is definitely getting a percentage of reservation and coming upward. It's good.
Mhm.
But do we have to make it compulsory? I don't know yet. Because for me, because I can only give an example of myself. So
Mhm.
it was never required.
You being the woman entrepreneur, and I can tell, maybe I think the discussion that I have had so far with you, I think it certainly has a lot of inspiring messages to a lot of women entrepreneur also. But if I ask you to give the message to the women entrepreneur or wannabe entrepreneur, what will be your, maybe I think, two-liner message for them?
So I think, entrepreneurship is it's not a gender biased position.
Yeah.
And it's not like that you are on woman entrepreneur, you have to go through a different procedure, and a man entrepreneur have to a different no.
Mhm.
You have to file taxes.
Fine.
You have to pay GST. You have to pay the salaries, and
Fine.
you have to go through the same routine what every entrepreneur
So
has
message
to
to the woman who wants to be entrepreneur. Is that okay?
Yes, I mean, yeah. I mean, do whatever you want to do, but when you are doing it, do with the full conviction. I think that's important.
Mhm.
It's important for the women to come out from their closet, and experience matters.
Mhm.
So don't hesitate. If you want to test and try and fail, it's okay. We all have failed, so it's fine.
Mhm.
We will fail in many of the things in future as well. It's okay. It's okay. That's something we have to normalize it.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Nidhi. I think I take your last words that the failure can give you the maximum learning, and people should not afraid of being failed.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, sharing so much knowledge, wisdom, and entrepreneurship zeal that you have. Thank you so much, everyone, for your patience listening. If you have any specific question or query for Nidhi, Shri, or Nadia, you can send a message to her on the LinkedIn ID. We will include her LinkedIn ID in our channel description. You can write to her and touch base her directly. If you have any specific suggestion for us, you can write to us at social@greentree.global. Thank you so much, everyone. Keep liking the channel, sharing your thoughts with us, and giving us the suggestion for the next guest. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Nidhi.
Thanks, Anurag.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
My pleasure.